Ryland Adams' podcast isn't about drama anymore, yet somehow the drama still follows him. What's up, guys? Today, we have to talk about Ryland Adams and Lizzie Gordon. Fans of their podcast have been noticing an ever-growing tension between them, and they finally addressed it. It's a mess, so let's get into it. So, Ryland Adams has a podcast with his good friend Lizzie Gordon called The Sip. It was called The Sip because it was originally going to be a tea-spilling celebrity gossip podcast. That all changed during the Trisha Paytas drama earlier this year. Trisha finally broke free of both Shane and Ryland and spoke out about all the times that Ryland has had Jeffrey on his podcast, knowing what Jeffrey did to Trisha. Ryland quickly addressed Trisha on one episode, trying to, lessen the backlash, but that didn't work at all. People thought it was really hypocritical that Ryland has no problems talking about other people's drama, yet wouldn't properly address his own. Later on, Ryland posted a video called Feeling Lost, and after that, the content of their channel completely changed. They're now more of a casual vlog friend type of podcast and do videos like food taste tests, getting their fortune read, and holding snakes. Well, you would think that type of content would be pretty drama-free, right? But now the drama seems to be between Lizzie and Ryland. Fans of their podcast have been noticing a really weird tension between both Ryland and Lizzie, and it gets worse with every episode. This tension was the most noticeable during the episode titled Interviewing a Huge Celebrity and Exposing Our DMs. In the first part of this episode, Lizzie was trying to tell Ryland about this new horror movie that she's in called The Resort, which just so happens to be trending on iTunes. Her part was really small in the movie, and she was only seen for a few seconds, but she was still super excited about making an appearance.
That's me! That's me! That's me! I'm so good!
Unfortunately, Ryland wasn't as excited. Lizzie just kept trying to show Ryland this clip of her in the movie, and she almost had to force him to watch it. He just kept acting like it was such an inconvenience to watch the clip and take the time to edit the clip into the podcast. Ryland's whole attitude was, oh, it's only for a few seconds, so why should we even bother? He kept making remarks about her not even being in the credits, not producing or directing it, and you could just tell that he really wanted to move on from the topic. Lizzie was still trying to talk about her movie appearance though, and Ryland just quickly cut to the next topic. Now the viewers aren't dumb. They picked up on this awkward tension right away. Here's what they had to say. I wish Ryland would even pretend to give a about Lizzie's movie. She was clearly so excited, and he seemed annoyed to even talk about it. Lord knows if he was in a movie for half a second, he'd be talking about it and would expect her to be interested. I kind of hate the way Ryland downplayed Lizzie's part in her movie. She seemed very excited and happy about it, but he kind of shut it down and groaned when he had to watch the 5-second clip. Nothing worse than a friend who refuses to be happy for you. He cannot stand that Lizzie has fans and hates to hear her talk about her successes. Now, I found this comment to be pretty interesting because I've now seen multiple people think Ryland is upset about how well liked Lizzie is. It was always Ryland's dream to have his own talk show, and he finally did it with this podcast. Then he brings Lizzie on to co-host, and people really like Lizzie. Most of the comments under their videos are asking Ryland to let Lizzie talk more and requesting for Lizzie to do her own solo podcast. Some people think maybe Ryland is a bit jealous and holds some kind of resentment over how well liked his co-host is. Some people have even said it seems like Lizzie is the host and Ryland is more of the co-host because she just adds so much to the conversations before she's cut off. Then, earlier on in the same episode, Ryland and Lizzie have some kind of awkward interaction about birthday cake. More specifically, Lizzie's dislike of birthday cake. Ryland says he doesn't trust Lizzie or her group of friends because they don't like cake. Apparently, Lizzie bought this beautiful birthday cake for her birthday, everyone sang happy birthday to her, she blew out her candles, but instead of eating it, she just put it back in the fridge because no one there liked cake. Now, Ryland was totally weirded out by this. He said he just spent the entire night wondering why no one was eating the cake, and he wanted the cake, but he didn't want to eat the cake alone. And Lizzie was like, well, I told you if you wanted to eat the cake, you could have just went and ate the cake. And then Ryland was like, well, I didn't want to be the first one to eat your birthday cake. And then Lizzie said that that was his own insecurities because no one else was gonna eat the cake anyways. I know, it's literally the most petty drama ever, but his audience did pick up on this interaction, and they thought they had some weird tension going on that they weren't addressing. And I guess the comments started to get to Ryland because he finally addressed the comments about him and Lizzie in last week's episode. Ryland says he doesn't normally read the comments under the podcast, but the week before he just so happened to actually read them because he was really proud of their episode. To Ryland's surprise, he found tons of comments about the tension that everyone was picking up on. Ryland says that he's gonna give Lizzie the floor and ask her if she feels tension between them. And this is what she had to say.
Like the tension between the two of them.
Palpable. Cut it with a knife.
I'm going to give you the floor. Do you feel tension towards me?
I mean,
you're not giving the people. I thought it was going to be a straight, like, no breath, no. I thought, like, we're in this together and our arguing is fun.
Yeah, but what you don't realize is you brought up criticizing my beautiful voice and my legit ass rendition of Listen by Beyonce and Dreamgirls.
So am I bullying you?
Some would say.
So they were kind of joking around about the whole tension thing, and Lizzie said it's probably because she has Botox, so her facial expressions are lacking. Ryland goes on to say that he just thinks that they're playful banter with each other, and some people might think it comes across as tension when it's really just their friendship. Now, there was one comment left on a previous episode that really bugged Ryland. He said he drafted up an entire response to the comment, but decided to just address it on the show. The comment said, "It's okay, Lizzie, I don't like cake either. Ryland could be such a buzzkill." And here's Ryland's response.
I don't like cake either. Ryland can be such a buzzkill. And I'm like, okay, first of all, did you read what you said? Because I'm the buzzkill because I wanted to eat cake. It seems quite the opposite. Like, and
I love that you can't let this cake thing go.
I said, wait, with 7 exclamation points.
No,
I'm the buzzkill for not eating cake. I wrote it out, I screenshotted it, and then I deleted it.
Good for you.
Anyways, it looks like the comments aren't having any kind of effect on Ryland because his viewers are still having the same issues with his podcast. Here's what people had to say on his latest episode. Lizzie needs her own show. Every time Ryland interrupts and changes the subject on her, I wanna scream. It gives me the vibe that they're gonna go from friends to enemies. So when is Lizzie getting her own podcast? Half of this is her literally saying, "Can I finish what I was saying?" and Ryland ignoring her and starting another topic. Now, I was doing a little bit of digging in the comments and I found some interesting tea. A lot of people think Ryland has to be running the Sips YouTube page because the only comments that get hearted by the podcast are positive ones about Ryland. Very suspicious. But I want to know what you guys think. Do you think people are overreacting and that's just how their friendship is? Or do you think they're slowly turning into frenemies? Anyways guys, let me know what you think about everything down below. If you liked the video, hit the thumbs up button because it really does help my channel, and I'll see you next time.